historic night in downtown Cincinnati as the playoffs arrive at TQL Stadium for a very first time. And after a Supporters' Shield winning season, the Orange and Blue are favorites to go all the way to MLS Cup. In their way tonight, though, a rampant and deadly New York Red Bulls. Festive spirit in the air as we take a look at the eastern side of the MLS Cup playoff bracket. Cincinnati Red Bulls here in moments. Philadelphia with an impressive 3-1 victory over the Revs yesterday. And still to come, Columbus hosting Atlanta in the first game. And how about Orlando and the season they've enjoyed up against Gary Smith's Nashville. Kevin Egan thrilled to be alongside Kyndra D. St. Alban. Kyndra, a look at Pat Noonan's starting 11 tonight. Just one change for Noonan from decision day. In comes Ray Gaddis for the injured Alvis Powell.
Yeah, not a bad shout to get Ray Gaddis to start. The veteran quality on that right-hand side, but Barrial is where my eyes are going to fall on that left-hand side. His ability to be dangerous, test the back line of this New York Red Bull side, get forward and be effective with those services as well.
As for the visiting New York Red Bulls, led by Troy Lesane, an incredibly impressive victory over Charlotte by 5-2. Just one change in the midfield. In comes Drew Yearwood for the hurt Daniel Edelman.
Well, in the center back pairing, Sean Nealis and Reyes have been fantastic on this season. Their ability to win the aerial duels and push on and join in the attack and find the center midfielder in Amaya. This time it's Yearwood. Lakinius has been effective as well, but all eyes on Token on that left-hand side.
The atmosphere, the noise is deafening at TQL Stadium. A sellout tonight in downtown Cincinnati for a first ever playoff game on home soil. Well, folks, these are the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, a proud partner of Major League Soccer.
You got to talk about Luciano Acosta, up for MVP of the league. What a season he's had, 17 goals, 14 assists. He said to the media this week, if I don't get it, I might have to fight somebody. But look at him, weaving his magic, working his magic all the way into the 18, putting that one away, always finding the final pass as well.
How about a first Red Bulls playoff hat-trick in history, this time falling for Elias Manuel?
Well, and head coach Troy Lesane was not surprised to see this man finish these opportunities against Charlotte. He's seen him create the chances all season long. This time he's putting them away. 3 goals on the entire season. This time he scores 3 goals in one game, perhaps hitting his stride at just the right time for this number 9.
Those were the players to watch, presented by RBC Wealth Management, a proud partner of Major League Soccer. The scene is set. Kyndra, you can really feel it. The atmosphere palpable here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, the Bailey bringing it once again. It's been pouring rain all day long, but don't tell these folks that. They got the march in. The fireworks are going off. The teams are coming out. This city is ready for the first ever playoff game.
Endured such a turbulent time through their opening 3 seasons, and how Pat Noonan has turned things around here in Cincinnati with hopes of going all the way to MLS Cup, a championship game which they would host. Now, Noonan did take Cincinnati to the playoffs last season for a very first time, and they headed to Red Bull Arena. They fell behind on that day, October 15th of last year, but they responded. Lucho Acosta from the spot, and Brandon Vasquez would go and score a winner from close range. Will we see something similar tonight? Kick next.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
Ilie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in. So let it fly.
Yes! What a smart choice by Ilie!
Continental, the smart choice in tires.
You're very welcome back to TQL Stadium in downtown Cincinnati. A look at the playoff history of both the Orange and Blue and the New York Red Bulls. The Red Bulls with a rich history in the playoffs. And tonight they've qualified for a best of 3 series. This is a new playoff format in Major League Soccer. We will go to Red Bull Arena next weekend. Tonight, the first game, and if need be, if it's one apiece, we'll have a third game that will be here in Cincinnati in a couple of weeks' time. Thrilling series ahead that starts from TQL next.
Goals aren't just planned for the field, they're planned for life. No more with RBC Wealth Management.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models.
Meet the Chevy ZR2 family. They'll never let you down. With features like DSSV dampers, MT tires, and an off-road performance and Silverado HD ZR2 family of trucks.
This is the head-to-head presented by GMC. We are professional grade. Playoff history for both Cincinnati and the Red Bulls. The Orange and Blue qualifying for the first time last season. As for the New York Red Bulls, 3 supporter shields. They've been to the dance for 14 straight years, but they've yet to lift MLS Cup. How John Tolkien would love it, as would Lucho Acosta, MVP favorite. We are underway at TQL Stadium in downtown Cincinnati. It really is a cauldron of noise, a melting pot of both excitement and nerves. As Lucho Acosta has the ball inside the area, Tolkien takes it away from the Argentine. Cincinnati embarking on their first ever home playoff game. Acosta wanted the decision, goes against him. All of a sudden, Kindred St. Aubin, the sudden weight of expectation in Cincinnati, given the rapid rise that we've seen, the magical season that's brought them the supporter shield, and the turnaround from 3 dire years. Pat Noonan and Chris Albright and co. done a remarkable job. So how do they ensure tonight, Kendra, that the momentum of the New York Red Bulls doesn't derail Cincinnati's playoff hopes?
Well, I think it's a lot on Cincinnati and just refocusing their intention. It's amazing what kind of a burden the supporter shield can be at times for these teams. Trying to win that trophy, get the supporter shield, and then what happens after? Pat Noonan said it. They had quite the letdown after that. They knew that this last month was a bit of a struggle, especially at home. But can they refocus this week? They had a lot of individual and team conversations about trying to get back on track, build that intensity. What did Pat Noonan Noonan say to us? This is what it's all about, this pressure. You want to handle this pressure. You got to figure out a way to deal with it, just like going from 2022 to 2023. They were no surprise this year to anybody after the year they had last season.
5th in the Eastern Conference last season, eliminated from the playoffs by Philadelphia after beating the Red Bulls in the round previous. Here we go with Acosta, cut out in the midfield by Amaya. Frankie Amaya straight back up on his feet, and this has always been a chippy game.
I'm not sure why Moreno jumps in there all hot. I mean, Frankie Amaya clearly gets clipped in the ankles. Luciano Acosta stands up, raises his arm, and apologizes for it right here. Clearly kicks out Frankie Amaya, the former FC Cincinnati. But I'm not sure why Moreno is all hot and bothered about it. Luciano Acosta held his arm up apologetically, knew he committed the foul. Play on, but you're absolutely right. Chippy affair.
Lucio Acosta may be lucky to avoid a yellow card in that instance.
So early in this match to have the player like that on a yellow card. We saw what it did to Thiago Almada when we were here last week, right? Now he's missing the first postseason match for Atlanta United on Wednesday.
Our referee tonight, Rubiel Vasquez, 7th season as an MLS referee. This just his 2nd playoff match. Barlow playing from the right-hand side to Manuel. Duncan cushions it for Yearwood. In the team tonight, Daniel Edelman picking up a knock. So Yearwood gets the nod from the start. The series history between these teams, Kendra, has been fascinating. You got to go back to 10 games ago to the last time the home team won a game in Cincinnati versus the New York Red Bulls. I wonder what's contributed to that.
You know, we were talking about this and trying to figure out if it's something tactical, a style of the way these two teams play, knowing the Red Bulls have a very specific style. Cincinnati under Pat Noonan, clearly a possession-based team trying to find their way through Luciano Acosta, their playmaker. But I honestly think it's just sort of the chippiness of this game, the way these two teams like to play. It might be pure coincidence that they end up not being able to win a home match against each other. It's always the road team, which is incredible when you look at those kind of numbers.
It certainly is. 9 yellow cards in that Open Cup game already this season. Badji goes to ground, we play away. It's been raining all day in Cincinnati. The pitch slick, but still looks in immaculate condition here at TQL Stadium. Tolkien. This filters all the way through to Celentano. 12 clean sheets this season for Roman Celentano in his 2nd year between the sticks for Cincinnati.
Just one of the players for Cincinnati that's up for those season-ending awards, along with head coach Pat Noonan, Matt Miazga. We talked about Luciano Acosta. Number of players getting involved with those end-of-season awards, rightfully so, being the Supporter Shield winners. And you look at this, the amount of games that they've had to play on the season just to get to this point. It seems like no big surprise that oftentimes a Supporter Shield winner doesn't find a way to come away MLS Cup champions, and maybe it's some of that pressure from being Supporter Shield winner, the schedule and the pressure on getting that first, and then how do you continue on into the postseason with that momentum.
Well, because of this best-of-3 series this year, there's less of a gap for the Supporter Shield winners, for the teams that finish at the upper echelon. Cincinnati straight into the action here, 4 days after the Red Bulls played. Free kick awarded to Cincinnati. Sean Nealis, his manager Troy Lesane, says has the Red Bull DNA running through his veins, you know. Quick with that press, aggressive out of the back. Acosta. Lovely pass for Vasquez. Here's Luquinhas. Glides past the challenger Woboda. Ray Gaddis biting at the heels. Luquinhas still has it. and Cincinnati wins it back.
Well, and Ray Gaddis had just made that overlapping run all the way on the right-hand side in that last bit of attack for Cincinnati. Still hustles back defensively to get on the ball.
When asked about being disruptors in Major League Soccer, Troy Lesesne was quick to point out that Cincinnati can do something very similar. And certainly Pat Noonan has brought that from his days at Philadelphia. Lovely pass outside now to Amaya.
If he had set himself up with a little bit better of a first touch there, I think he would have gotten a shot off. Just skipped away from him, Frankie Amaya.
Tenacious defending from Alvaro Barrial. What an impressive turnaround we've seen from Troy Lesesne. Remember, the New York Red Bulls started their season with 1 victory in their first 11 games. Gerhard Struber was relieved of his duties. In comes Troy Lesesne. And 5 wins in their last 6 games now. So mighty impressive. 16 goals scored as well. And they left it late with that dramatic winner from John Tolkien on decision day, securing their path. Nice switch from Vasquez. Barrial. It's it back from Acosta. Duncan's quick. Throw in.
Nearly out for a corner kick, but how about that switch field right there? Something Pat Noonan told us they have got to play more left to right to find a way to break this press and some of this pressure from New York Red Bulls.
How impressed were you with what we saw from the New York Red Bulls against Charlotte on Wednesday night?
Well, I think it was a decisive victory, and it was trying to figure out, was it Charlotte not playing well, or was it New York Red Bulls doing their thing? And I think it was a combination of the two. Charlotte tried to beat them in a way that played right into the hands of the Red Bulls and the way they like to be effective in their press and capitalizing on mistakes, as you see Miazga just furious right there that they can't find a way out of this one. But Red Bulls and Manuel, how about those finishes? Just putting them away. Getting the hat trick on the night. Showing what he's capable of.
Only his 6th playoff hat trick in MLS history. An amazing statistic. And only 1 player after scoring a hat trick went on to score in the next game. Raul Diaz Arce back in 1996. Acosta. Mosquera.
I watched the movement of the midfield here for FC Cincinnati, because when we talked to Pat Noonan about how are they going to break down this press from the Red Bulls and where is it going to come from, now they're dropping all the way into the keeper, pressing. But oftentimes, he said, you want your players to stand still, to hold their positioning. They don't have to be constantly moving. Trust the process that the ball will find you and how we want to switch the field. So keep an eye on Acosta, Wobodo, and Moreno in the midfield. If they hold their position, if they're got a lot of movement to try to find a way out of the pressure.
It's an interesting point Pat Noonan makes. Let's see if it plays out here tonight. Murphy. Barrial. Skips past the challenge beautifully. Vasquez. Searching pass from Yearwood. Just bodied off the ball from Omir Fernandez, but Cincinnati have it back now. The folks here at TQL, no question about it, have been treated to some amazing soccer this season. 69 points collected en route to the Supporters' Shield. Tied 4th most all-time in league history. John Tolkien and the Red Bulls here to spoil the party tonight. The New York Red Bulls have never been beaten in Cincinnati. 4 wins, a draw, 0 losses. And so far, Kindra, here in the best of 3, all the home teams have won the first games.
We know that home field advantage is normally a thing in MLS.
Ball across the area. Oh, it's a big time chance. Luquinhas blazes over.
Look at this opportunity, and it's a turnover, but the ball tries to find Acosta, who had gone down. He slipped on the turf. And then a little bit of a dummy there. Well done on the dummy, right by to find the runner, Luquinhas, but just sails it over the crossbar. He's got to do better with that finish, coming in on that run from the left-hand side. Just 3 goals on the season to him.
Lucho Acosta finally back running here, just out of your picture. Now on the ball, was hobbling for the last minute or so. Acosta under pressure from Yearwood. Acosta, cross deflected. This one will go out for a corner kick to Cincinnati.
Acosta still hobbled a little bit when he checked back for that previous ball. He rolled his ankle just inside the center circle, finally back to his feet. He's taking a slow jog over. You know he's not going to want to come out of this match.
31 goal contributions this season, 17 goals, 14 assists, and a near guarantee for MVP in Major League Soccer. I say near because a fella called Buwanga who scored a brace last night might have something to say about that.
Big players come up in big moments. That's the postseason. Buwanga doing it last night.
Chance of MVP ring out around TQL. Acosta whips it in, goes for goal. A dangerous one, collected by Carlos Coronel.
Look at the time and space for John Tolkien. Surprisingly slows down a little bit. Normally he's off to the races. Been so good for this Red Bulls side.
Omir Fernandez, Kyle Duncan.
You see Luciano Acosta just out of your picture there, and he comes into the picture in the circle. He goes to check back for the ball. Takes a little slip on the field. He went down immediately, was kind of waving at the sideline, but then back to his feet as the play came on, went on.
Good news for Cincinnati and the neutral. Lucho Acosta continues. Such a joy to watch, as is this man, John Tolkien. Tolkien on that left foot now, set to deliver. Whips it in. Looking for Barlow at that near post. And Lucho Acosta keeps it in play, but John Tolkien quickly back to win it back for the Red Bulls.
And Acosta does so well to hustle to this one, to keep it in on the near sideline. He takes a touch and then he can't get to the second one as Vasquez was making the run on the backside. Well done by Tolkien with that recovery run.
Junior Moreno turns the ball over. The boos ring out for Frankie Amaya here at TQL. First ever draft pick in Cincinnati. Tolkien, low delivery. Wobodo, ball taken off him by Yearwood. Acosta, Badgie. Lovely play from Cincinnati, inviting Barrial forward. Alvaro Barrial fizzes it all the way across for Ray Gaddis. Brandon Vasquez now.
Just forcing it right there. Something Murphy talked about, Murphy just forcing that ball in there, but something Noonan talked about. Don't make the unnecessary pass. They did that too often against Atlanta United. Play simple, don't try to do too much when you don't need to. You can't have those turnovers, especially against this Red Bull side.
Junior Moreno under duress, as Cincinnati will be all night. The foul committed by Tolkien.
Acosta still trying to get his feet underneath him on this near side. The trainer having a little bit of a conversation with him as well.
Oh, beautiful from Lucho. Clips it. Here's Alvaro Barrial. Low delivery inside is a good one. And how close was Dom Badji from connecting with that cross?
And how about the service from Barrial on the left-hand side, something we know he's more than capable of. He's been doing it all season long, and the run just not tracked by Duncan there. Low driven, he tries to get to that near post on the wrong side of the defender. Just needs a little deflection as he's sliding. Nealis gets in the way. So close for Cincinnati. Lucio on Costa, though, he picked out like 3 or 4 passes, and he didn't even move 5 feet on the near sideline. Even at, I'd take Luciano Acosta at 80% if you can stand in the middle and pick out a pass like that to find Barrial on the left-hand side. I'm sure most teams would say that about their 10s.
Kept in play brilliantly by Reyes. And Vasquez puts on the pressure to win the throw-in. Badji was close to connecting there. Badji in the starting 11 tonight with Aaron Bupenza on the bench. Disciplinary reasons ruling out Bupenza on decision day against Atlanta after he was late to report back to Cincinnati post-international duty with Gabon. Aaron Bupenza can be a game changer for Cincinnati. On the bench, available to pounce tonight. It must be said, Dom Badji capitalized on his opportunity, scoring against Atlanta.
He did, and I thought he worked really well up top with Vasquez, the way they kind of play off of each other, one checking back, one going up a little bit higher, reading the game.
Can Cincinnati counter now? Acosta tries to thread a needle, too much on that. No chance.
I was just going to say, he's under pressure there. You wonder if you just play back to Barrial and then restart the attack.
Another turnover in the midfield. Amaya drifting forward. Frankie Amaya straight at Celentano.
Amaya likes to come from that deep lying position in the midfield. If nobody's going to step to the ball, he'll take that opportunity to drive and take a strike. Oftentimes, Wobodo and Moreno are already tasked with marking others in that center of midfield, and Acosta stays a little bit higher. That leaves Amaya a little bit free in there.
So cool on the ball as Amaya, as is Luquinhas. Manuel sprays it across the area, comfortable for Wobodo. And Wobodo turns it over now. Tolkien, second bite. Badji commits the foul.
Acosta is furious having this conversation. That's great tracking back by Badji there to cover defensively. They know what a threat John Tolkien is. He has been so good for this Red Bull side. We talked about it, his set piece capabilities, his freedom to get forward on that left-hand side to be so dangerous. Now he's got the service here.
Here goes Tolkien. Lofts it inside. Murphy can't clear his lines. Flicked on looking for Barlow. An audacious attempt from Manuel. Free kick, Cincinnati.
If I'm Cincinnati, you just settle down a little bit. I think Red Bull like it when it's frantic like this. They like that Cincinnati looks a little bit frazzled as they're trying to possess out of the back and break some of this pressure.
Another turnover. This time straight to Amaya. Murphy. Barrial again, that press. What a sensational season the Argentine Alvaro Barrial is enjoying, especially in that left wing back position, Kendra, with the protection of Ian Murphy in behind. He has that license to get forward all the time.
Yeah, I think between Ian Murphy and Matt Miazga and their ability to kind of shift and slide and cover for Barrial when he does push on. But let's not forget, that's also a huge credit to the holding mids. Today it's Wobedo and Moreno, because they have to drop in then and cover for a center back that is pushed out to cover for Barrial. So it's a real team effort when they want to cover for an attacking player like that.
Under pressure again. This time the referee blows for a free kick to Cincinnati. Can you imagine the confidence Elias Manuel has right now? 3 goals in that match against Charlotte, and just an all-around brilliant performance from the 21-year-old Brazilian. Barrial gets it back. Here's Junior Moreno. Back for Barrial. Alvaro Barrial goes for goal! And the Supporters Shield champions have liftoff in the MLS Cup playoffs.
What a beautiful give and go on this left-hand side. Not often do we say that Luciano Acosta isn't even involved in a play like that. He was on the other side of the pitch, had drifted to the far side. What a beautiful touch by Baji. Another one-time touch by Barrial, and then he continues to run. You're thinking left foot from that angle against Cornell. That's going to curl away from the keeper and outside the post. But instead, he just picks that spot perfectly. What a ball. Perfectly weighted by Moreno to find him in stride. Inside of the left boot, far side. Cincinnati go up early.
You can understand the rumors, the talk of the big clubs being interested in Barrial over in Europe. The Argentine national team sending scouts reportedly to watch Barrial play. It wouldn't be a surprise to anyone to see him representing La Albiceleste very soon. A sensational opener, sending the home crowd into raptures here in Cincinnati. And look at that record when scoring first this season, 17-0-4.
That's one of those stats, though. Which one's going to win first? Is it never losing when scoring first, or is it neither of these teams have won at home and they play against each other? You could go down the stat book, right?
We will have a winner tonight. It filters through for Barlow. Handball, free kick Cincinnati. Remember, if level after 90 minutes, we will head to penalties. That's the case across this best-of-3 series here in round 1. And look at that Bailey rocking tonight.
That's incredible. We were lucky to be here last week as well. And we focus on the Bailey, we focus on those supporters, but the whole stadium has that kind of support and that kind of energy. Every single fan in the building.
Acosta swivels away from pressure, brought to ground, free kick Cincinnati. He is so beloved in the city of Cincinnati. Had a chance to speak to some locals yesterday just about the importance of their number 10. It reminds me a little bit of Joseph Martinez during the heyday in Atlanta, banging in the goals during 17, 18, and 19. That cult hero figure in the city, very much alive with Acosta in Cincinnati. In for Baji. Here's Vasquez. Clips it this time, and out comes Coronel.
That's twice, though, that Baji has had a really nice one-touch pass to find the next one. It was prior on Barrial's goal. It was right there to find the wide space for the service. His touch has been spot on tonight.
Coronel straight to Junior Moreno. Header goes out of play. Carlos Coronel Now Paraguay's #1 started and played all 90 minutes in their 4 CONMEBOL World Cup qualifiers. Brazilian born with a Paraguayan mother. Ray Gaddis strong in the air. Such a battle in the midfield here as Vasquez looks to win it back. Yearwood. Here's Ray Gaddis. Well, folks, the Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs continue tomorrow. A doubleheader as Orlando host Nashville and Seattle take on FC Dallas. Coverage begins right here on MLS Season Pass, 6:45 p.m. Eastern.
Token tracking back right there for that double team. I love when you asked, you said nicely that New York Red Bulls as disruptors, but we were talking to Troy Lesesne about them being known as sort of villains, but you were saying that in a positive light, like embrace that, the kind of pressure that the Red Bulls put on opponents, just forcing it into these terrible positions, these bad turnovers in dangerous spots as Tolkien goes down there.
Opposition coaches throughout the season, they spend so much time talking about the Red Bulls and how to approach a game like this, given the unorthodox nature of the way they play. I certainly meant it as a compliment to Troy Lesesne.
I took it that way. But either way, whatever it is, they're effective. They found a way to be effective, especially here tonight and leading up to this game. Excuse me, not yet tonight, but leading up to this game to get here into the postseason.
John Tolkien having a bit of fun there with the Cincinnati faithful, known as J-Mite. Tolkien has been absolutely clutch this season. He's produced some big-time moments. Think decision day. Think the free kick against Charlotte. Also the winning penalty in the Leagues Cup earlier this season as Omir Fernandez has it now inside the area. Wayward delivery from Omir.
When he got the choice wrong there because Frankie Amaya was just loitering about 23 yards out, dead on, completely unmarked. He goes to serve it to the back post, no one there.
Here's Matt Miazga, the Supporter Shield winner with the New York Red Bulls before moving across to Europe. Amaya chopped to the ground by Badji. So what needs to change for the New York Red Bulls? Just one victory this season after falling behind in games.
Well, I think it's tough to look at the season stats because I think the form that they're in now is not going to dictate what they did prior when they went down a goal. I think the confidence and the belief that this group has in themselves and what they've done to get here changes the previous history of the season. But I do think what they need to do is continue the high press, continue the nature in which they like to play, force the turnovers in precarious positions for FC Cincinnati. They had them rattled for a bit there, but then when they win the ball, they got to keep it and be effective in that final third. We saw Fernandez on that last chance just making the wrong choice to the back post. They had numbers forward in possession, so just have that killer instinct in the final third and the confidence to put one away and make the right pass. The pressure is there, just like we know they're capable of.
Lofted ball now, looking for Tom Barlow. Away by Wobodo. And there's Wobodo winning that second ball that Pat Noonan really focused on. One of his strong abilities as Luquinhas tries to play it through for Manuel. Cincinnati on the break with Vasquez. Alvaro Barrial, scorer of the goal here tonight at TQL. Junior Moreno always directing traffic in the midfield.
But right now, Acosta and Moreno are kind of making the same run into the same line of sight.
Forcing Mosquera into a turnover. Here's Duncan. Yearwood in a battle with Vasquez.
Goes off, I was just going to say, goes off the official there. He blows it dead. I think he lost his whistle momentarily on the deflection. Had to pick it back up.
That's our referee tonight, Rubiel Vasquez. Timothy Ford, our video assistant referee.
I understand they're all upset, but that is the rule. It goes off the official, you blow the play dead, and you restart. Cincinnati gives it back.
Barlow, Murphy challenging in the air. Wobedo under pressure. The Nigerian does so well. Nice pass down the line. Lucho Acosta tries to thread it for Vasquez, and Sean Neal is just about tall enough to get something on that.
What a ball by Gaddis, though.
Gaddis, a man that Chris Albright and Pat Noonan had to coax out of retirement to come play for Cincinnati. What a savvy move that's ended up being. A yellow card issued. A robust challenge there on Drew Yearwood.
Matt Miazga going into the book early here. Not good for your center back, especially knowing he's going to be marking the legs of Manuel. You've got it right here with this challenge. Not on that one. But now you've got your center back on a yellow the rest of the night.
It's a third yellow card during this series, would then rule a player out for the conference semi-final. That would be the fear for Matt Miazga. There were no New York Red Bulls players booked in the victory over Charlotte on Wednesday night. Now that sweet left foot of John Tolkien over the ball. Tolkien, low delivery. There's a playoff edge. There's something left on every single challenge in this game so far.
A little extra shoulder, a little extra knock. I'm sure there's a word or two as well.
Kyle Duncan. This one allowed, bounce inside the area. Up goes Nealis. Cushions it down. Deflected effort. Pinball in the area. Wobedo away. And the header back may fall short. There goes Badji. Out comes Coronel. Falls to Lucho Acosta. Goal! World class as the MVP chants ring out around TQL once more.
It felt like you could just feel that play developing here. That was the first header, one, and then the blocked clearance, another header. And how about that? Wobedo just does whatever he can to get it out of danger. The header goes back, not enough on it, and Badji reads it all the way, puts the effort in, forces Cornell into a tricky decision there. The second it falls to Acosta. He's got one thing on his mind. He's finding in the back of the net to put Cincinnati up 2-0. An unfortunate error there by the Red Bulls. Cincinnati makes them pay. It's going to be a tough hole to climb out of.
How cool is that from Lucho Acosta? Big time player, big time moment here on the first night of the playoffs for Cincinnati on home soil. This was the night the fans in the Bailey and beyond have been waiting for, and their team have shown up so far. Luquinhas now, looking for a response for the Red Bulls. Yearwood, out over the end line, goal kick. Kindred was an electric and an incredible, unprecedented start to the season on home soil for Cincinnati. 13 straight home wins in all competitions, that an MLS record. And since then, Cincinnati have won just 4 of 11 matches here at TQL Stadium. So there were some concerns coming in that maybe they'd lost their mojo here at TQL. Has that been answered so far?
I think so far, and there was never a doubt on the energy from the fan base here, trying to carry them through. But I think that supporter shield did take its toll. That was a lot on them, the pressure. Then they went for the points, and once that went out of the picture, kind of trying to hang on to the end of the season. But they went a month without playing a meaningful game, a game with any pressure, as they were sitting in that first place position. You like to think you're not going to have a letdown, but I think it's just natural mentally when you know you've got that top spot. They knew the pressure was going to be on to turn it around in the postseason, because every point, every game matters from here on out.
That's a great point. The victory for the Red Bulls here at TQL Stadium came just 4 days after Cincinnati had clinched the Supporters' Shield in Toronto. Maybe a little bit of a hangover here at home. Credit to New York, though. The Red Bulls had a crucial victory en route to qualifying as they win the ball back here with Kyle Duncan. Challenge is flying in here. Duncan drifts away from Badgie. Ray Gaddis strong in the challenge. Omir Fernandez whips it. Lovely cross, but Mosquera did really well. Now here's Alvaro Barrial. Vasquez can't cushion it. Tolkien takes the space. John Tolkien deflected. Corner kick, New York Red Bulls.
And look how Tolkien tucks inside there to make that run. Then gets it on that left foot, wins the corner kick. And that last ball by Barrial from Cincinnati, trying to find Vasquez on the direct ball out to relieve some of that pressure. Pat Noonan said he's not afraid to have them do that. It's okay to relieve some of that pressure sometimes with the direct ball, but then he's got to be able to hold it. Tough skipping pass as it comes back in. Red Bulls take advantage of it.
Amaya delivers. Mosquera's header away. Duncan deflected. A sigh of relief heard around TQL Stadium. It'll be another corner kick.
I'll tell you what, this Red Bull side is not going away. There's no sense of a letdown. They're down 2-0. Look at that deflection coming through. Nearly falls to the near post. Another set piece on this corner.
We go again with Amaya. Another meaty delivery, completely overcooked. The Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs continue tomorrow. It all leads to MLS Cup, December 9th. Mark it in the calendars, folks. It's right here on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Duncan. Barlow. Winning it back is Barrial. And Matt Miazga, away for your picture, straight over to the linesman for a word.
It's well done by Barrial to use his body. Duncan maybe just a little frustrated there that he can't keep possession, trying to win that one back.
We all knew the Red Bulls would bring intensity and fight. Cincinnati matched them in every category so far.
So far, and they've weathered the storm of the press.
Vasquez offloads for Lucho Acosta. And the offside flag is raised. Barlow in a fight there with Murphy, and Barrial wins the header. There's a look at some of the numbers so far. The Red Bulls with 6 shots. The crucial 2 shots on target for Cincinnati have both found the back of the net. Barrial and Acosta. Junior Moreno lifts his head, lofts one forward. Well dealt with from Nealis.
I'll tell you what, too, Nealis has been limping a little bit since even before the second goal was scored. So him to track back and stay on Baji there, time that header perfectly. Keep an eye on him, though.
The captain will want to stay in the game for the Red Bulls, that's for sure, as Acosta puts it out of play. Speaking with 2-time Golden Boot winner Bradley Roy Phillips earlier on today, Red Bulls legend, now with us here on Apple TV, and he spoke about the mindset of these players and talked about how many of them are New York Red Bulls through and through. The likes of John Tolkien and Edelman, and even elder statesmen like Ryan Mira, and just the importance of what the club means to them. You said they'll never give up. That's the Red Bulls way, certainly with these younger players, as Luquinhas wins a free kick.
Well, and even talking to Troy Lusane, and when he talked about what it meant to make 14 straight postseasons for this club, of course you don't want to be the team that doesn't make it, that breaks that streak. They found a way to get it done on decision day. First time they'd gone above the playoff line the entire season when John Tolkien scored that penalty.
Isn't that incredible?
It's nuts. That's the nature of the beast, though, right? This league is incredible in that way. You go on a run.
Here's Tolkien from the free kick once more, looking for Nealis. Nealis commits the foul. Here's Ian Murphy. Murphy and Barlow battle once more, and Maya wins the free kick. So 2 goals down, the New York Red Bulls in this latest stretch run, Kendra, of 5 wins in the last 6 games. They never had more than 44% in any of the games in terms of possession. So how do they possess enough to create these opportunities?
Well, I think it's not even about possessing. It's just taking advantage of when you get those chances. We've seen it time and time again that teams don't have to dominate in possession, and they can still find a way to be victorious. Red Bulls have done that, as you just stated. They don't need a lot of the ball. They just need those moments. I mean, even look at Cincinnati. They have 2 shots on goal, and they're 2 goals. So it doesn't matter how often you get there sometimes. It's just that you capitalize on the moments when you do.
And Red Bulls have certainly had lots of set pieces in this game so far. Another battle in the midfield here as Yearwood looks to skip past Wobodo, who does so well. Two minutes of additional time to be added. A lot of the talk about Acosta, and you can understand that, but how big time has Obina Wobodo been this season, and last year for this case here for Cincinnati?
The holding midfielder just put himself in the right spot at the right time, making the right challenge at the right time. And if anything, Pat Noonan told us he has to hold him back a little bit. He has to make sure that he doesn't go into every challenge to try to win every ball, to go into every 50-50, because then it takes him out of position. His partnership with Moreno or whoever, if he goes in for every challenge because that's his instinct, he might be out of position. But so good in that midfield role.
After recruiting Wobodo, Chris Albright, technical director here in Cincinnati, said this was the most important position for us to address in the offseason. He certainly nailed it. The Nigerian has been absolutely quality in Major League Soccer. Vasquez cushions it. So less than a minute remaining in a first half where Cincinnati have capitalized on those few opportunities. Duncan. In strong is Barrial. Going for Don Badji to chase. Baji may regret that. As two players come together here, and one for Rubiel Vasquez to deal with.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? We talked about this being a feisty affair, always has been. You know, the officials are taking a look at everything right now, reviewing some of that footage. What happened first? Retaliation, all those sorts of things, taking a look. But Baji losing his cool a little bit.
And we will continue here in this game. A little coming together, we play away. Rubiel Vasquez and our video assistant referee, Timothy Ford. Okay, but what are you seeing? And that brings an end to the opening 45 minutes here in Cincinnati. It's the orange and blue with a healthy lead here in the best-of-3 series. Goals from Alvaro Barrial and a beaut with an open goal in sight from Lucho Acosta.
We wanted a first half of fireworks. We got it, not just from the scuffles and the contact and the feistiness, but two beautiful goals from FC Cincinnati. Red Bulls not backing down. I'm sure we'll see some more in the second half.
Big time 45 minutes to come from the New York Red Bulls if there's to get back into this game. We'll step aside, folks. When we come back, we'll take a look around Major League Soccer at the other games from round one. Don't go anywhere.
When your money's good, you feel good.
Don't be afraid to catch fish.
Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
Your first home sees a lot of firsts. From first loves to first steps. Sure, it can be a handful at times, keeping you up at night.
Come on now.
But with help from the Home Depot, you'll find the confidence to create the first place you call your own. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
I was dancing when I was 12. I was dancing when I was out. I danced myself right out the womb.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models.
Welcome to the Halftime Report presented by Audi. We're live tonight from downtown Cincinnati, where the Orange and Blue, in their first ever playoff game on home soil, lead by 2-0 against the New York Red Bulls. Kindred D. St. Aubin alongside me, Kevin Egan. Delighted you're with us, folks, as we look back on the first 45 minutes as the Red Bulls look sharp in the off.
Yeah, we had plenty of highlights, and some of them offense, some of them defensive. And you know who's going to want that one back? Laquinhas. What a difference that would have made to put this one away. That would have changed the entire landscape of the first half. He just sails it over the crossbar. Barrial was so active the entire night, making the runs down the left-hand side, serves that ball in, skipping in. How about the ball from Acosta to find him? But that left-footed service is dangerous. Baji making the near post run. Nealis with the big-time tackle.
But look at this, just beautiful from Cincinnati. Junior Moreno plays it back for Barrial, who buries it.
It was the whole one-touch combination. Baji hits it one time, Barrial hits it one time, Moreno finds the through pass, and he curls it around with the left foot, to the back post. Barrial makes him pay. Cornell can't get on that one. And how about this one? Cornell once again comes off his line, a poor header back to the keeper. Pressure by Baji, and it falls to Luciano Acosta, making it 2.
It seemed to take an age to finally cross the line. The sense of anticipation, you could feel it here in Cincinnati. And when it goes in, the Bailey was bouncing. A Cincinnati lead by 2-0. The Red Bulls would go in search of that breakthrough goal for them. This deflected effort by Duncan that would drift wide.
Well, they got a couple set pieces, Red Bulls. After that second goal came, that one a deflection off of Wobodo, but sometimes that's what you need. You just need a little bit of a luck. You put it on frame, maybe it takes a deflection, maybe you get an own goal. You never know what can happen, but you got to take the shots to get it done.
You look at the expected goals for Cincinnati, Kendra, 0.25, yet with 2 goals at it.
I'm telling you, that's why we talk about stats and we talk about numbers, but at the end of the day, you got to finish the opportunities. Total number of passes, passing accuracy. You talk about possession. We talked about Red Bulls don't like to have the ball, 36%, yet they've got 6 shots, but only 1 on target and no goals to show for it.
Well, folks, the top scorers for each team are presented by Audi, the official vehicle of Major League Soccer. And the top scorer for Cincinnati, an absolute stud, Lucio Acosta, on target again tonight.
Putting another one on goal, as you said, to get that one done. A nice little chip. Omir Fernandez hasn't been real dangerous. He leads Red Bulls with 8. Manuel sitting there at 7, had 3 in the game just the other night against Charlotte.
Well, for every goal scored during the Audi MLS Cup playoffs, Audi will contribute $2,000 to support MLS academies through the Audi Goals Drive Progress Initiative. What a big 45 minutes we've got coming your way. The Red Bulls will always fight, as we see right here. Let's see if they can scrap their way back into this game next.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies, with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
Travis, did you know you can get this season's COVID-19 shot when you get your flu shot?
2 things at once.
2 things at once!
2 things at once!
I'll have 2 things at once, please. Now back to 2 things at once.
2 things at once.
That's not 2 things at once.
Mom!
Travis, ask about getting this season's COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
You're very welcome back to the Halftime Report presented by Audi. Look at this. Feeling the season here tonight, Kendra.
Nice work, Kev.
I know. Took me all night.
I just scraped the guts out. You did the carving. Credit to whoever did that. That's pretty impressive.
Cincinnati have been carving open their opportunities here tonight, leading by 2-0. A look back on yesterday's games. Carlos Hill here, early in the game, a devastating loss for the Revs, taken off injured. The Revs also hit the crossbar, and then up the other end near immediately after that, a penalty awarded. And Gazdag, as he always does, would step up and put it away with ease. After that point, Philadelphia were rampant. Ua would get a second goal for the Union here. Near own goal as Ua pounces on the doorstep.
That's where you put the pressure on, though. If you're Philadelphia, you force your defense into a precarious position. Philadelphia makes them pay, and they weren't done yet, getting a third on the night. New England does get one back, but now you head back to New England trying to claw one back to keep this series even.
So Vanni Sartini and Vancouver headed to Los Angeles last night to take on LAFC. And the champions of Major League Soccer were rampant. Ryan Hollingshead from close range. Denny Bouanga would get in on the action as well. The Golden Boot winner in Major League Soccer with an absolute beaut. He would go and score a second goal as well. Bouanga and LAFC would hit 5 goals against Vancouver, 5-2 the final, before heading to BC Place the next day. As for tonight, the match that kicked off before ours this evening in Houston, taking on RSL. Ache, Hector Herrera with a lovely strike.
When he picks up his head, he just knows he's got to find the corner with the left boot. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Doesn't really put his foot through it. Just passes it into the corner to put him up 1-0. But then it's Diego Luna just finding himself in wide open space. A beauty of a first touch, and he curls it around the defender into the near post.
And RSL have been so good on their travels this season. Could they go and get a winner? Well, the answer was no. Up the other end they go. Amin Bassi would pounce, tucks it away in the top corner as Houston take the first game in the best-of-3 series. They'll head to Sandy, Utah now for the second game next week. Big 45 for the New York Red Bulls if they respond here in front of the Bailey in the second half. A look at the landscape here in round 1 in the MLS Cup playoffs and its advantage, all home teams.
Yeah, all home teams thus far in St. Louis City, hosting Sporting Kansas City tonight. 1 versus 8. Can the home team prevail there as well? What a season they have had, but Sporting Kansas City coming back roaring the second half of the year, really since May.
A reminder, folks, after our game this evening, Jake Ziven, Taylor Twellman have the call for this. It promises to be absolutely brilliant. A new rivalry with expansion club St. Louis roaring to the summit of the Western Conference this season, and they're up against the resurgent Sporting Kansas City.
You talk about a 1 versus 8. Does it feel like a 1 versus 8?
No.
I'm not sure, because Sporting Kansas City is flying right now. They've been there, done that, been in this position in the postseason. We saw them on Wednesday getting it done against San Jose, but St. Louis City, pressure on them. #1 expansion side, top of the West. Can they continue their efforts in the postseason?
What a game that promises to be in front of a sellout crowd in St. Louis tonight. Also a sellout here in downtown Cincinnati. Will they see a first ever home playoff victory? 45 minutes to come.
Finding the right hotel just got easier. Compare and book on the app with Hotels.com.
It's not just designed to look good. It's built to command attention. It's not just a comfortable interior. It's a quiet refuge. They're not just headlights. They light the way forward. The new fully electric Audi Q8 e-tron models.
Hi, it's Major League Soccer. No, you're looking for Beckham. I'm Beck, Noah Beck.
All right, team, it's the marketing plan for 2023.
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. So I have this great idea. What do we think? Hi, it's Major League Soccer. Oh, hi, Mr. Messi. Yeah, please hold. Yeah, what's up? Hi, it's MLS.
If working hard is essential to get where you want to be, you need something that gets you going and keeps you going on the path to your true potential. You need a spotter, a running mate, a loyal companion. You need Celsius. Every drop is essential. Celsius, essential energy.
New York Red Bulls look like they're set to make some changes here to start the second half. Harper, Stroud, and Dylan Nealis all looking set to come in here. Well, folks, this is the supporter cam brought to you by Hotels.com. Find your perfect somewhere on the Hotels.com app. There's not many better supporters in Major League Soccer than the Bailey here in Cincinnati.
I'll tell you what, they've been bouncing every time we've come here, rain or shine. They make their way to the stadium, they do the march, they bring the energy. Definitely the 12th man for this FC Cincinnati side.
Wherever you're watching from around the world, if you're ever in this part of the world, come to TQL Stadium, check out a game. Barry Allen, the scorer of the first goal tonight. Acosta with the second, sees the New York Red Bulls here, trail by 2, and getting set to tear into Cincinnati in the second half. Off we go for the second half at TQL Stadium. Cincinnati, 45 minutes away from their first ever victory on home soil in the playoffs. So we mentioned the players coming in for the Red Bulls. Sean Nealis, the captain, who we saw limping throughout the first half. Drew Yearwood and Omir Fernandez, the men to make way. What does this do tactically for the New York Red Bulls?
Well, I think first and foremost, it's a like for like for the Nealis brothers just coming in at center back. But we look at John Tolkien. Where is he going to find his opportunities? Is he going to switch? It looks like maybe to the right-hand side. Is he just going to float across from an attacking position? They are going for it. Now he's limping. Now he's going back. Are they going back to more of a 3-back, a 5-back? Trying to figure out where John Tolkien is going to find his spot on the left-hand side. Just behind Harper.
Yeah, Cameron Harper looks like in that left wing-back spot if they are to go to a back 3 as Ray Gaddis looks to find Acosta. Here's Dylan Nealis, finds Amaya. Now Cameron Harper.
Just felt like offensively they were missing a beat. But I don't think moving John Tolkien in a more permanent position farther back on the pitch solves that problem. But if Harper can add another flair going forward, Luquinhas maybe tucks in a little bit more. We didn't see Manuel on the ball very much. Barlow normally sits underneath, but now he's more alongside, almost like a 3-front with Luquinhas, Manuel, and Barlow.
Tolkien now. Ray Gaddis, the veteran, puts it off Cameron Harper. A little shove for good measure. Mosquera was looking for Matt Miazga, and this one goes out over the end line. Corner kick to the Red Bulls.
This is going to be some early defending, though, for Cincinnati. You can't rest on your laurels with this 2-0 lead. They know the Red Bull is going to be pressing here with the service from Amaya.
Frankie Amaya clips it. Kyle Duncan lofts it back in away. For now by Mosquera. Barry Allen can help out. Looks like Matt Miazga, the man down for Cincinnati. What has Matt Miazga brought to this Cincinnati team?
Just the quality veteran leadership. The second they plugged him into that center back role, the direction, the organization, especially in front of a young goalkeeper like Celentano. You talk about helping a young goalkeeper like Celentano have a tremendous rookie season. Part of that is the leadership just in front with Matt Miazga. He went down on the contact here on the corner kick. Then he got back to his feet, no foul called. I don't think there's much in it. Then as he got up, he looked like he was a little bit hobbled. He says, I'm good. We needed to come back in on the sideline.
Ventured all over Europe, was in 5 different countries, 5 different clubs, 5 different loan spells from Chelsea. Matt Miazga has found a home here in Cincinnati. And he's thriving at the back alongside Mosquera, who's on loan from Wolves, and Ian Murphy, a draft pick from Duke. They'll have to defend here now. Low delivery. It's a fizzing cross from Kyle Duncan, who gets it back. Frankie Amaya. Worn back from Badji. Free kick, Cincinnati. Pat Noonan. What a turnaround we've all witnessed here in Cincinnati. We saw a tifo before the game, Kindra, that read, "From the depths we rise." The days of Alan Koch, Ron Jans, Jaap Stam, a distant memory for the fans here in Cincinnati. It's a completely different feel around the stadium and the city.
Yeah, and I think it wasn't an overnight turnaround, but the fans deserve this moment. And Pat Noonan said that to you pregame. He said they deserve this moment to host a playoff game here. What they went through the first 3 seasons when they went to MLS. Remember their USL days. What a proud franchise it was. So excited to come into MLS. It didn't go the way they planned the first 3 seasons. Pat Noonan has turned this club around, not by himself, with Chris Albright, the entire staff. That's the first place they give credit, and these players. What an environment from Wooden Spoon to Supporter Shield champion in 2023.
And to think that last season, Noonan's first game in charge, a 5-0 loss to Austin. Lost their next game after that and gradually started to churn out results. 5th place finish in the Eastern Conference. And man, have they improved on that this season. Manuel lets it run. Miazga back to his goalkeeper. Obina Wobodo. Matt Miazga. One for Mosquera to chase. Yerson Mosquera, now an international with Colombia. A player that's really impressed since coming on loan from Wolves. A player that Cincinnati will do really well to keep for next season if they can. Crunching challenges going in now. And Rubio Vasquez, our referee, has a decision to make. Yellow card issued to Alvaro Barrial.
It felt like it was only a matter of time before we saw yellow in this game, and that looks like the first challenge on Badji. And they can't believe it. Why is that one not whistled? But this one is. Acosta goes in cleanly there, but it's the late challenge there, catching Badji. But it's Barrial. He lifts his foot up a little bit. He goes for the ball at first, and then as he doesn't get it, he lifts his foot up, trips the player, and draws the yellow. I can understand the frustration on the first call, the first foul not being whistled, but Barrial draws that yellow. That one was deserved. Stroud goes down.
So that is a second yellow card issued tonight. In the first half, Matt Miazga was given a yellow card. So 2 players from Cincinnati in the book. Here's Frankie Amaya. Inside looking for Nealis. Luquinhas there, as is Duncan. And away goes Lucho Acosta. Look for the little nutmeg on Amaya. It doesn't come off. Barlow for Duncan. Luquinhas. Red Bulls tasked with breaking down the Cincinnati wall. Barlow, low delivery now.
Just trying to keep an eye on this shape of Red Bulls as they go forward. It just seems like John Tolkien has really been kept at bay this game. They're so effective when he can find his opportunities to join in from that left-hand side. But so far tonight, he's only made a couple runs, getting the ball deeper in these positions.
Luquinhas. Stroud wide, Duncan now. Corner kick to the New York Red Bulls. 7 goals from corners this season. Can they spark a revival here in the 54th minute? John Tolkien, the in-swinger, flicked on by Barlow. Back in it comes from Stroud. Luquinhas! Fine save from the young goalkeeper, Roman Celentano.
You can see the frustration there by Luquinhas as he tries to catch it through traffic. It's the second really good chance he's had tonight. Celentano goes down and hangs on to it.
Another nutmeg attempt by Cincinnati, turning the ball over here as the Red Bulls have it again.
Trying to possess out of the back. Red Bulls with this high line of pressure. And look at how this ball falls on top of the 18. There's the first shot, there's the second. He's leaning back just a little bit, doesn't get everything through it. But you take your chance when it's going through traffic. How easily that might have taken a deflection on the way through. But it doesn't. Luquinhas can't catch it. Celentano sees it through traffic. Red Bull's still off the board.
The ball finally back in play. Peter Stroud pushes it forward. Miazga's header. Duncan. The Red Bulls tasked with breaking down Cincinnati, and a lunge there from Alvaro Barrial, who is already on a yellow card.
And defensively, they had Duncan facing the sideline there. You go for the double team, you don't want to dive in like that, and you definitely don't want to draw another yellow. You give up a set piece chance, a little rash there by Barrial on the challenge. And now you're set defending.
It's Tolkien once more from the set play. Tolkien delivers deep. Mosquera away for now. Harper turned over. Wobodo has it. And away goes Cincinnati. This is where they can be lethal. Brandon Vasquez touches it past Luquinhas brilliantly. Vasquez across the area. And it was center back Yerson Mosquera that had sprinted all the way forward and almost added a third.
How about the willingness from Mosquera to make that run? He understands nobody else is running. He sees that opportunity and he bolts. He goes right past Wobodo to make the run, to be available as Vasquez is doing the work on the near side, tries to curl it away from the keeper and around the defender. Well done by Cornell to come out and grab that one. And well done by Mosquera to get forward on that play. But a turnover there by Harper that really set that entire thing in motion. They can't have that, Red Bulls.
Barlow clips it in now. Manuel cushions it. Wobodo there fighting, battling to win it back. Luquinhas has it for the Red Bulls. Barlow makes his way inside the area. Duncan has it wide. Luquinhas gets his strike away. And out comes Celentano. These teams will go again next Saturday evening, live on MLS Season Pass from Red Bull Arena. One in the air by Dylan Nealis. Barlow, straight to Miazga. Several times tonight, with that press from the Red Bulls, Cincinnati utilizing Celentano at the back.
Yeah, and I think then it's up to him to make the right choice. And as Pat Noonan told us, they're not afraid to play out of the back and possess, but they need to be in the wide spaces. They need to use their outside backs. They need to use the wingers, get the switch field. But every once in a while, don't be afraid to go long and be direct to find Vasquez or Baji for some hold-up play. And so far, they have forced Red Bulls to chase.
Cameron Harper now quick to it. Harper, Luquinhas, there's bodies inside the area. Elias Manuel, it's still Manuel. Well played, Ian Murphy. Corner kick to the Red Bulls.
Well, Murphy has to get that just right. He's riding Manuel, staying with him stride for stride, just trying to get the toe poke in there, but you can't commit the foul. It'll be a penalty. Luquinhas with a nice little ball back. He beats the first challenge there, and he's just looking for his opportunity for that shot. Ends up with the corner. They're going to need that man, Manuel, to be a little bit more dangerous in that final third to get the Red Bulls back in this game.
Tolkien with another in-swinger. Miazga with the header. And this one, easy for Celentano. The sixth corner defended by Cincinnati. Vasquez, an MLS Cup winner with Atlanta in 2018. Here's Baji. Oh, beautiful pass on. Alvaro Barrial goes for the chip.
That's another one-touch ball, though, by Baji. He's had some great vision tonight to know where he wants to go with the pass before he even receives the ball, and the unselfish nature to find the next one, whether he gets it back or not. Barrial probably should have found him back on top of the 18, or Acosta was waiting there as well.
Baji has certainly delivered for Pat Noonan. And a motivated, you can be sure, Aaron Bupenza awaits his introduction if he gets one tonight from the bench.
This time the foul goes in Acosta's favor on this challenge right here by Amaya, but the previous conversation was between Baji and Stroud as a tough challenge on the header.
Alvaro Barrial, scorer of the first goal tonight, set to deliver. Barrial whips it at pace. Cushioned down by Junior Moreno. And a wayward effort from the Venezuelan international.
Well, and he puts himself in the right spot. He brings it down with the chest, but then he tries to strike it with the left boot and get over it. Just doesn't connect.
Amaya. A little bit of space now for Luquinhas. Tearing forward is Harper. Predominantly right-footed, cuts back inside. Luquinhas again, beautiful technical ability from Luquinhas. Goes for the acrobatic goal kick, Cincinnati.
And Luquinhas does fantastic work there to get that ball back on the give and go. Then he's kind of slicing and dicing in traffic. Watch this here. All the way he's thinking, I'm going to get to goal, I'm going to get to end line. Then he tries to chip it back. That's a difficult one to get on the end of. Is he better off just putting something on frame at pace even? Near post, force a save, maybe a rebound.
And there's that direct approach you talked about moments ago when Pat Noonan said, we'll be prepared to go long against the Red Bulls when need be. Just forcing them back, looking to get in behind with Vasquez and Baji. Taking the space is Tolkien, threads it beautifully. Elias Manuel rides the challenge. Manuel with the hit! All the way across the 6, out over the end line. Not too far away from a man flying with confidence after a hat-trick midweek.
And nearly the same angle that we saw from the goal in the first half from Barrial. What a touch by Manuel. Gets a little bit of a step on Matt Miazga. A brilliant ball by Tolkien to find him in that space.
So Celentano made the save. The 7th corner for New York. Tolkien whips it in again. Stout defending. This time it's Brandon Vasquez. And a head injury will halt proceedings here in Cincinnati. Don Badji, the player in question.
And the official immediately halting play anytime there's the thought of a head injury. Watch the challenge here, and it just looks like they knock heads as he's trying to man mark. Watch right here. Maybe head, maybe chest. He runs right into Frankie Amaya. Goes to ground quickly. Good to see him back to his feet.
Well, folks, the Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs continue tomorrow with a doubleheader as Orlando hosts Nashville and Seattle takes on FC Dallas. Coverage begins right here on MLS Season Pass, 6:45 p.m. Eastern. So Don Badji, away from your picture, runs off the field for now, just awaiting the signal from the referee to come back in. Badji back on the field. One in the air by Amaya. Barrial must have the same barber as Junior Moreno. Gaddis pushes it forward. So no Santiago Arias, no Alvis Powell, 2 right backs for Cincinnati through injury. Arias injured on international duty with Colombia. In steps Ray Gaddis, and you know what you're going to get from the veteran Ray Gaddis this evening. He's been solid.
His ability to find a way to get forward, even with the amount of tracking back. Now, he hasn't had to keep track of John Tolkien as much as he has in the past. I feel like Tolkien's really been staying home tonight. But Gaddis so effective and just smart on the ball, making the right decision at the right time when it's won.
Murphy. Matt Miazga. The other player when talking about injuries is Nick Hagglund, Cincinnati boy, Kendra. Not available this evening through injury, meaning Cincinnati don't have a centre back on the bench.
I think that's saying a lot for what they've been able to do tonight against this Red Bull side that is normally incredibly effective on the left-hand side. The side that Ray Gaddis is on, the side we often see Nick Hagglund playing. I think Mosquera, once again, in the partnership on the right-hand side has been key. You see him pop out there to cover Luquinhas.
The pressure forces the turnover. Obina Woboda gliding through the midfield. Vasquez, Acosta invites Vasquez for a run. Andres Reyes is quick, but Vasquez wins it back. Fair challenge, says the referee. This is a scrappy game. High stakes game. First game in a best of 3. If we make it that far, the Red Bulls, as it stands, would need to win the second game at Red Bull Arena to force that third match that would be right back here at TQL Stadium in Cincinnati. Cincinnati, since winning the Supporters' Shield, will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Meaning if they go all the way, Kendra, next week's game will be their only game away from home.
We wondered if that was going to be beneficial the way they ended the regular season. Struggling at home to get results. They earned it with the Supporters' Shield. Now they're capitalizing on it. First game in the postseason with the 2-goal lead here.
Win probability, huh? Does win probability know a thing called sports and how things can change?
That's why we play the game. I feel like I used that same line just the other night, didn't I? Sporting Kansas City against San Jose.
Anything can happen. Major League Soccer, MLS After Dark. We know how it goes. Mosquera goes long, a searching ball for Badji. Badji spins, wins the free kick. As we saw moments ago, Aaron Bupenza is the man getting set for Cincinnati. The Gabon international teammate of Denis Bouanga, the Golden Boot winner here in Major League Soccer. Bupenza won the Golden Boot in the Turkish Superliga with Antalyaspor just a couple of years ago. First player for that club to ever win the Golden Boot. A difference maker for Cincinnati, set to come off the bench. Out over the end line, corner kick to the orange and blue.
Mosquera pleading his case that he got tripped up in the box on his run in, making his way to try to get on the end of that. Taking the look here. Tough to tell from that angle. Looked like there might have been something with John Tolkien there.
And look at the crowd around Lucho Acosta and what he means to the Cincinnati faithful. Acosta whips it toward the near post, and the number 10 will go again.
And well defended by Frankie Amaya just to get that one out with the head, because Matt Miazga is loitering just behind him.
Here we go. Substitution time for Cincinnati, and it's a welcome back to designated player Aaron Bupenza. Missed decision day's game against Atlanta United due to disciplinary reasons. Failing to report back on time from international duty, Bupenza is back on the field for Cincinnati. 5 goals this season since joining midsummer from the Saudi Pro League. Pat Noonan, speaking about Aaron Bupenza to us, Kendra, spoke about the difference he can make and the player that he is, his ability to create in isolation. And he said he can also be that provider when he drifts wide as well.
Exactly. He's not afraid to pick his head up and find that last pass when he goes into the wide spaces. A different look than Vasquez and Santos and Badji, and what they bring in that number 9 in that attacking position.
The applause for Badji, who's made way in this game. Bupenza up front with Vasquez. Here's Cameron Harper. 73rd minute. The Red Bulls need a way back into this game, and fast. Tolkien drifting by Bupenza, wins a free kick. And in his first involvement in the game, Aaron Bupenza receives a yellow card.
First time he's in even around the ball. I'm not sure it's a yellow card. It's a little bit of a clip of the heels. John Token is so smart, though. He goes across Bupenza to create the contact, to draw that foul. Interesting, though, out of all the contact we've seen through 74 minutes, that's a yellow card, with the very few yellows we've seen in this match.
A foul that did stop a promising attack for the Red Bulls, and it is John Tolkien over the ball now. Tolkien whips it, a teaser. Celentano spills it. Celentano wanted the free kick, didn't get it as we play away. Amaya sprays one, but too much on it for Cameron Harper.
Seems like a foul to me. I can understand why Celentano, he's outstretched. You're exposed as a goalkeeper. You're vulnerable in that moment. Official says play on.
Peter Stroud for Dylan Nealis. 2 substitutes at halftime. Here's Andres Reyes. Another searching pass looking for Cameron Harper. Does really well to keep it in play. Tolkien. Quick pass straight to Wobodo. Wobodo's pass looking for Bupenza now. Cincinnati have been full throttle with their intensity since minute 1.
They haven't stopped, and that was one of the questions, right? Coming off the Supporter Shield victory, the lack of results the last month of the season. They knew it wasn't what they wanted, wasn't how they started. But the stakes are higher now. This is the postseason. They came out to play today, and they look like it. Red Bulls aren't going away, but Cincinnati up to the task. This time, Manuel gets the yellow card. Late little clip there on Mosquera.
So off the bench now for the New York Red Bulls, Wiki Carmona. The 20-year-old Venezuelan youth international has been a spark plug off the bench at times this season. He replaces Tom Barlow.
Didn't feel like we said Barlow's name a whole lot tonight. He was much more involved in the attack against Charlotte. Barlow not seeing much of it. We'll see what Carmona can do.
Carmona has a wicked strike and can hit him from distance. Gaddis for Vasquez, pushes it down the line for Lucho Acosta. Falls kindly, Brandon Vasquez! Strike blocked. It was Frankie Amaya with the block, who's been everywhere tonight for the Red Bulls. The Audi 2023 MLS Cup playoffs continue tomorrow. It all leads to MLS Cup December 9th, right here on MLS Season Pass. One for Elias Manuel to chase. In a battle here with Mosquera. And Mosquera and the Cincinnati fans furious with that decision.
Mosquera saying it's shoulder to shoulder. It's been a good battle with Manuel tonight. He was with them stride for stride. Nonetheless, the whistle goes. This gives Red Bulls another opportunity from a set piece. They've had a number of corner kicks. This service, nearly the same. Frankie Amaya stands over it.
29th foul in this game. Amaya Once more, too much on the set piece.
It's incredibly disappointing. You've got all your numbers up if you're Red Bulls. This needs to be Amaya's bread and butter to put that service in. Just allow one of your teammates to get something on it. Put it in the mix inside the 18. Out the other side instead.
Pressing is the Red Bulls, and Peter Stroud away by Wobodo. Two Red Bulls players going for the same ball, but they keep it. Luquinhas meandering through pressure, brought to ground. No free kick, says our referee. Amaya, won back by Wobodo, doing what he does best. Asking a lot of Bupenza.
Moreno with the press here.
And that may be Junior Moreno's last involvement as Cincinnati and Pat Noonan prepare a substitution in the midfield. Tolkien, Luquinhas, such quick feet. Carmona, he will strike from anywhere. Cincinnati will hold their substitute while they're defending as this one falls into the grateful palms of Roman Celentano. We talk about Wobodo and winning the ball back in midfield. Pat Noonan told us that this opposition really suits him. He thrives in a game like this against this sort of opposition. There he is in a battle in the midfield again. Luquinhas drifts by pressure. Oh, it's beautiful from Luquinhas. Offloads now. Chance for the Red Bulls. And a brilliant save from Celentano. At such a crucial moment in the game. Another cross to defend. Awkward for Gaddis. Bupenza helping out. Tolkien. Luquinhas. Amaya threads it beautifully. And across comes Matt Miazga.
All of a sudden, FC Cincinnati under a little bit of pressure defensively here. They're going to make another change. But that last drive forward by Red Bulls, it all started with Frankie Amaya and the win at midfield and the header over Wobodo, and he nearly finished the play as he continued the run. Tremendous save by Celentano to leave it out. The Red Bulls with some pressure here in the final 10 or so minutes.
Junior Moreno passing at 77% tonight as he makes way. That's unusually low for him, usually in the 90s for Cincinnati's midfielder. I know he speaks to the opposition tonight. A like-for-like switch with Yuya Kubo into the center of midfield. Wobodo driving out of pressure. Kubo, and his first touch, touches it on for Bupenza. A crunching challenge there from Peter Stroud. Love this playoff intensity.
Well, and Stroud read that one all the way. Bupenza was kind of taking his time getting over to it. Stroud had to get that tackle right.
The beauty of this best-of-3 series here in round one is the Red Bulls very much alive after this game. If this score holds, they'll head back to Red Bull Arena, hope to get the victory, and that would force a third game, and that would be at TQL Stadium in a couple of weeks. Here's that Frankie Amaya chance from moments ago.
Well, and he won it at midfield right over Wobodo. Luquinhas with a brilliant run at the ball at his feet. Drives forward, beats two, and Amaya continues on with his run to put himself in a position to receive it. Tries to get a touch on it there, doesn't get everything in that shot. Celentano with a big-time save.
Nice close control from Lucho Acosta. Coughs up possession. Luquinhas. Another player that's a joy to watch, but so is Wobodo in the midfield. Turned over by Murphy. Harper. Stroud. Tolkien. Oh, great close control from Frankie Amaya. Luquinhas. This is better from the Red Bulls. Deflected cross. Murphy straight to Obodo. Anywhere will do. 85th minute at TQL Stadium. The referee tonight allowing play on. Rubio Vasquez has been brilliant, allowing this game flow all evening. Luquinhas onto that right foot. He can hit him. This one, a daisy cutter that drifts wide.
Well, Sean Nealis, he tries to shield this one. I think he catches it awkwardly on the bounce. He thinks he's going to head it, then he tries to fake it to go over. And he lands right on the right leg of Luciano Acosta. Right there, look at it. Kind of clips him from behind. He wanted the contact in the first place. Nealis wasn't going to come, and then he lands on the back of Luciano Acosta's leg. Good to see him back to his feet as well.
This Lucio Acosta's 6th MLS Cup playoff match. Prior to tonight, he only had 1 goal, 0 assists. And he certainly delivered tonight with that goal from distance. And this is a big moment for the New York Red Bulls. Serge Goma set to come into the game for Troy Lesesne. And the last time we saw Serge Goma play was last year in the playoffs against Cincinnati. This an incredible talent for the New York Red Bulls. 18 years of age, takes the place of Kyle Duncan. Goma's quick, top-class technical ability. A hamstring injury has ruled him out, but it is great to see Goma back on the field.
What a moment, too. Throw him on in the 86th minute in a playoff match. Hasn't played a minute all season.
Late minutes then for Goma. But this will certainly give Troy Lesesne confidence ahead of next week's to maybe give Goma a little bit more time. The New York Red Bulls have a real habit of producing quality from their academy. Now Mosquera will allow this one run out of play. Kindra, from here on out, it's about managing the game for Cincinnati and seeing this through.
Yeah, and they want to finish here on a strong note. It's not just about getting the win at this point, 87th minute, to preserve the clean sheet, just feel confident in a complete performance going into game 2 on Saturday in New York, in New Jersey against the Red Bulls. You're going to want to see this one out. Feel good about it until the final whistle. But again, Red Bulls, another set piece opportunity, pushing the numbers forward.
Another set play. More defending for Cincinnati. Frankie Amaya will take it again. Amaya clips it. And Reyes commits the foul. Ian Murphy for Miazga and Mosquera. Lovely pass from Brandon Vasquez. Yuya Kubo just pushed off the ball there from Reyes, but Lucio Acosta has it. Alvaro Barrial can wrap it up! And that sweet left foot of Alvaro Barrial secures a victory for Cincinnati on their first ever home playoff game.
You can see this developing all the way from the near sideline. It's Kubo, Vasquez, Luciano Acosta just sees the run on the outside of the boot, passes it with the right. And how about Barrial? How clever. Just kind of pops it up to himself, the half volley out of the air. That lethal left foot, no doubt. Back post once again. Cincinnati, we just said, they want to end on a strong note. Not just with another goal, they want the clean sheet. Barrial with the second of the night. And that one comes from Acosta.
The Supporters' Shield winners with a statement scoreline here to kick off the playoffs. Cincinnati mean business. Pat Noonan was quick to talk about moving on from talking about the Supporters' Shield. Business time here in the MLS Cup playoffs as Lucho Acosta has it. Sees Aaron Bupenza, who wants in on the action. Bupenza goes to ground. Free kick, Cincinnati on the edge of the area. And a yellow card issued. A lightning fast break from the home side.
And a good run there by Bupenza. And then he kind of steps over the ball to allow it to run onto his left foot. Great ball by Acosta. Bupenza finds his way just between the two center backs. Right there, lets it run across him. Vasquez actually, by making the run central, brings his defender into traffic, right into the path of Bupenza as well. But they still end up with the set piece. A very dangerous moment here with Acosta standing over this one.
The Bailey is bouncing in Cincinnati. What a moment. These fans have waited years for tonight to enjoy a playoff victory. And this may be the nightcap. Lucho Acosta standing over the ball. It's Acosta. Acosta with the cheeky effort. Here's the yellow.
That's an easy yellow.
Issued to Dylan Nealis.
And it happened right after, on the way to that goal, I should say. Acosta wasn't happy about it, but the elbow comes up high. What a night for FC Cincinnati to kind of reaffirm their home field advantage.
A night they'll never forget, but a night where maybe there's promise of more to come from this side led by Pat Noonan. And listen to the reception for Lucho Acosta. The Argentine magician that's made a home here in Cincinnati. Acosta makes way, as does Brandon Vasquez. And it's Sergio Santos and Malik Pinto to enter here for the final 2.5 minutes or so. Offside flag is raised. How did the Red Bulls recover ahead of next week's match at Red Bull Arena?
Man, I think it's going to be a tough task. I just think the way that Cincinnati kept piling on, they're going to want to be at home, of course, in front of their fans, in front of their faithful. Try to get back to that mojo that got them here. 4 straight wins. What they've been able to do to get to this point. Kind of defying the odds. They've had some challenges, adversity on the season. Can they regroup and regain that confidence? I think they're a different team at home. They play the same style. They're pressing. They're forcing the turnovers. They have that high energy.
It's a game you do not want to miss. Saturday night from Red Bull Arena. We'll have the call for you right here on MLS Season Pass. Meandering out of pressure is Wobodo. Here's Yuya Kubo now. Is there a fourth for Cincinnati? Bupenza will chase, as I remind you that we have another belter of a game in store here tonight, right here on Apple TV. Kicking off in just a few minutes' time from City Park. It's St. Louis City, top of the Western Conference, taking on Sporting Kansas City, rivals and neighbors. As Kubo looks for Santos.
That one just gets away from Santos on the first touch, but he's making the right run there. You can see the angle he's taking, keeping his hips open, waiting for that pass from Kubo, which comes. Just doesn't get the first touch right. You also wonder, I mean, Red Bulls just having played midweek. Cincinnati have had all week to rest and prepare and recuperate, get ready for this match, not knowing who their opponent was going to be until Wednesday. They didn't know if it was going to be Red Bulls or Charlotte. That could be a bit of the difference too, is we'll see what Red Bulls do going forward. We talked to Troy Lucane about that. Tactically, can they make changes? Will they make changes? Having faced Cincinnati so many times in one season.
And if Cincinnati pick up a win next week, they get that crucial break ahead of a conference semifinal. This conference semifinal, and on from there will be single match elimination. Luquinhas drifting, brought to ground. No free kick, and away goes Cincinnati with Yuya Kubo. Bupenza checks his run, now gets it. Aaron Bupenza goes to ground, still there for Bupenza. Hacked away by Stroud, and a free kick goes to the Red Bulls.
I think right now Cincinnati are being smart when they're choosing to push forward. You can see quite a few players, especially on the back line for Cincinnati, hands on the knees, trying to recover, but Bupenza there doing his thing, trying to get the shot off. Reyes to ground, Nealis to ground, everybody. But when they are pushing forward and going forward, it's just a handful of numbers. They're still trying to lock it down defensively here.
It's all over in Cincinnati. Match one goes to the Supporter Shield champions on a magical night here at TQL Stadium. A first ever playoff game and a big victory with Lucho Acosta, the mastermind.
We wondered, was the home team in this matchup ever going to come away with a win? There was a sense of purpose, of urgency right from the moment that first whistle blew for FC Cincinnati. Getting it done on home soil in their first home playoff game ever in MLS franchise history.
This New York Red Bulls' first ever loss in Cincinnati, and they'll need to pick themselves up quickly ahead of next Saturday's clash at Red Bull Arena. This is the moment of the match presented by JCPenney, and what a moment it was. The ball falls kindly for maybe the MVP of Major League Soccer this season.
Luciano Acosta gets the finish, but the pressure by Baji creates the opportunity. Acosta does the rest of the work, and that was just one of the 3 goals tonight for FC Cincinnati.
Top class performance from Cincinnati's number 10 once more. Mr. Brightside is roaring. The Bailey is bouncing as Cincinnati win it 3-0. We'll be right back.
There are trucks, then there's the truck, GMC Sierra. Available with the V8 engine. The Super Cruise hands-free driving experience. And of course, the world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate. GMC Sierra. Not just any truck, the truck.
How will I know where to start? Striving for more isn't just for the field, it's for life. Know more with RBC Wealth Management.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
It is for our economy ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, cash or card.
For water?
Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro. Check it out, made with titanium.
We do have free movies, with the purchase of headphones.
I'll just use my iPhone.
Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Welcome back inside TQL Stadium in Cincinnati on a magical night for the Supporter Shield champions. A first ever playoff game on home soil, and they went and wrapped it up with a 3-0 win. Celebrating in front of the Bailey, Lucho Acosta, top class throughout. The chance of MVP. Acosta on target, as was Alvaro Barrial with a brace. Kevin Egan thrilled to be alongside Kindred de St. Aubin as we look back at the action from Cincinnati. And this, a brilliant move and a class opening goal.
Well, not just the finish here, but the give and go. And Barrial continuing that run and the one-time finish. Right here, it's the one-touch passing. Baji, Barrial, Moreno. And another one-touch. I mean, that is just brilliant teamwork. Selflessness on that goal, on that finish, to give Cincinnati the lead, and then more from Baji, making the run, putting the pressure on. Cornell can't make the clearance. It was a poor header back, and Acosta makes him pay, chips it in, dead center. No doubt as it floats its way in. Felt like Cincinnati's night, especially heading into half up, 2-0.
And we talked about it. 2 shots on target. They capitalize on both. And then Cincinnati would go again. Yuya Kubo, fresh into the game, forcing the pressure. Acosta gets it, and look at Barrial making that run. How class is this? One touch, second touch, bang, back of the net.
And not only that, but he stays in an onside position. Acosta's just a clever little right outside of the right foot. Barrial pops it up to himself, puts his laces right through it, but he stayed in an onside position. He read it all the way, stayed in line with Reyes. That was the 3rd goal, and they keep the clean sheet. Pat Noonan, game plan executed perfectly by his club.
And this was a physical match from the get-go, as we've seen in previous matchups with Cincinnati and the Red Bulls, and we expect this will continue into next week.
I mean, feisty. It was feisty from the first whistle. There was a lot of contact. There was a foul on Amaya by Acosta when he clipped his foot. A lot of shoving and pushing going on. Some of it play on, some yellow cards handed out. And now you got game 2 on Saturday. What will we see? Red Bulls got to make a case to stay in this thing.
The expected goals in favor of the New York Red Bulls. The shots there, 16-8. Sometimes the stats, though, as we pointed out, not really a fair reflection of what the eyes have seen.
It's not, and even when you talk about stats heading into this game, that's why we play the games. You've got to throw it out on the pitch and see who comes out on top, who takes advantage of those opportunities. 3 shots on goal for Cincinnati, 3 goals. That's all you need to know right there. That's the stat. It's not about expected goals. It's not about creating opportunities if you don't bury them. Troy Lusain said that to us. We've had plenty of chance creation. Now we had execution, but they didn't tonight. But that's what they did to get to this point. Can they do it again next week?
36 fouls in this game. 3 goals for Cincinnati. The big difference here. Pat Noonan, well, there's no more talk about the Supporter Shield. It's rock and roll time in the playoffs. We'll be right back, folks.
Elie can win MLS Cup with this kick.
Game on the line. How do I make the smart choice? I remember what's worked and what hasn't. This goalie knows exactly where I'm going to shoot. He's smart, but hesitant. I'm not, or I'm right, all in. So let it fly.
Yes! What a smart choice by Elie!
Continental, the smart choice in tires.
Is it possible to be more capable and more practical? Be able to perform here and here. Make a statement while barely making a sound. And command the road, as well as what lies ahead. How we get there matters.
ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. Yeah, we still lit.
It's not really home field advantage unless you take advantage of it. Great things happen when you spice it up.
New IHG1 Rewards. 18 hotel brands. One loyalty program that lets you guest how you guest.
MLS Cup hopes alive and well in Cincinnati after a 3-0 victory tonight over the New York Red Bulls. It's advantage Kindred St. Albans, all the home teams so far.
So far, home teams dominating, something we saw quite a bit in the regular season. We wondered, would it continue in the postseason? So far it has, but we still have St. Louis City hosting Sporting Kansas City coming up later tonight. That's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it certainly is. A brilliant match. Close to kicking off here. Just kicked off, in fact, between St. Louis City and Sporting Kansas City. Do not turn off your television set. Make sure you're watching that game late into the evening. And then more matches coming your way tomorrow, and then Columbus, Atlanta on November 1st. The Argentines with the magic this evening. Lucho Acosta and Alvaro Barrial, the difference makers as Cincinnati win it 3-0. We'll be right back.
Some people just know what road to take. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate.
The service road is faster.
Turn left.
Not happening.
He knows better than any GPS, and he'd point you in Allstate's direction.
Go all the way down the road past the big gray warehouse.
Take the next exit.
You're not from around here, so you don't know the back roads.
I don't want to be late for the party.
I'm gonna save us 5 minutes.
Some people just know what road to take.
You're on the fastest route.
Those are the people who know safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
It's not really home field advantage unless you take advantage of it. Great things happen when you spice it up.
We're making Italian beef sandwiches. First, let's prep the meat. No beef. Perfect. First, we're gonna get the ingredients. You can order it with your fingertips. We got tinfoil, right? We get groceries. DoorDash.
So it's advantage FC Cincinnati after match one here in round one. On to Red Bull Arena we go. Kindred St. Albans and me, Kevin Egan. We've got the call for you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday at Red Bull Arena. And if necessary, if the Red Bulls get a win, we'll be back here at TQL on November 11th for the third meeting here in round one. This has been fun. Kicking off the playoffs in style here for Cincinnati. The Supporter Shield winners with a 3-0 victory tonight in a pulsating, brilliant match against the Red Bulls. Cheers for joining us tonight, folks. The Bailey brought it, bouncing throughout the evening as Cincinnati put on a show here at home. For Kindred St. Albans and our entire classy crew, my name is Kevin Egan. Thanks a million for watching MLS on Apple TV. Now, for other scores, highlights, and the latest news from around MLS, check out My Sports in the Apple News app.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.